For us, it's a daily thing.
It's every day, right?
This is Mammoth Daily
We're going to take you inside the locker room
with Mike Fulta.
We want this show to be about the fans, and we want this show to be driven by our Utah Mammoth community.
And Adrian Denny.
Fans can submit what they want to hear us talk about, what they want to hear Utah weigh in on. It's all going to be here.
Here's Mike and AD with you.
Utahns, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Right here on Mammoth Daily.
Happy Friday and welcome into your Friday free-for-all episode of Mammoth Daily. We've got some of our local media joining us for our Friday free-for-all later, but it's a big segment, big A block to open up the show on a Friday. Mike Fulta, Adrian Denny, your Utah radio crew. But AD, we're being joined right off the top here by a member of Mammoth Daily who's near and dear, a member of Mammoth Nation who's near and dear, one of the top day-to-dayers and the first ever recipient of the People's Cup.
Mike, Clayton from Farmington, Kaysville won the first one. And Mike, you see Gary Bettman presenting that Stanley Cup when a team wins it. We thought we'd go out and do the same thing to lead off our Friday free-for-all. Here we are, the Swig in Centerville for a very special moment with our first ever People's Cup winner, Clayton from Farmington, Kaysville. Said the Mammoth will win 49 games this year. It's good enough for us, and we're here to present him with a People's Cup. And since we're at Swig, might be a great opportunity to drink out of that People's Cup.
I think the victory will be sweet, and so will the Swig.
Now, Clayton, before we present you with the hardware here, what's the order inside Swig? What would you first sip from this chalice of victory?
I'm a little bit basic. I'm a little bit boring, but I'm going to start with Dr. Pepper, and then we're just going to put a little bit of raspberry puree in there. And that's it. I don't need to go too dirty on this. We're just going to keep it clean for the podcast.
I like that. Well, with that order and with your take, 49 wins, by the way, for the Mammoth. That was your take this season. That'd be a nice step up for the Mountain Blue. But with that take, Clayton, we'd like to present you with the first ever People's Cup. Congratulations. Clayton, come get the People's Cup.
I am truly honored. Thank you so much. I consider myself a man of the people, so I'd like to dedicate this out to all those Mammoth fans who are in the summer doldrums. We'll be back together soon. It's going to be great. I'm doing great. Better than I have in a while, actually. Yes, it'll be Clayton.
Perfect. How do you spell that?
Clayton. And it's not Keller. It's just Quarles. I'm sorry. Could I do a raspberry dream? Actually, but without the cream. Let's do the 16 ounce, please. We'll be chasing the dream all season. Some. Get our Mountain Blue straw. That camera work. There we go. Open, and I'll do my best not to make a mess, but with the rabbit fruit ice. Wow. That was more luck than skill, but I'll take it. Awesome. Gosh, it's perfect that it's almost the right blue. First sip out of the People's Cup. Tastes like 49 wins. Woo!
Drink it in and drink deeply, Clayton. Enjoying the People's Cup, the first ever one we're handing out. We're going to be sending out a lot more, and we want people to send in how they're choosing to celebrate receiving the People's Cup.
What are you eating out of it? What are you drinking out of it? What are you using it as a paperweight for? Send us your pictures and videos of that. We like to get stuff, Mike. We love giving the shout outs. We love seeing the pictures. Leah from Cedar City, your tattoo, the man caves, the pickleball courts. Send them our way here on Mammoth Daily. And the latest incarnation of that is what are you doing with your People's Cups?
You can hit us up on our email, mammothdaily@utahmammoth.com. You can reply in the YouTube comments. You can hit us up on Twitter. He is at 801 Adrian Denny. I am at Mike_Fulta. He has the same handle on Instagram. I am Mikey_Fulta on IG as well. But AD, we're handing out people's cups, but we're also having more submissions for Salt Lake City pouring in by the day. We're trying to get through as many of these as we can before the season because a lot of these takes are predictive. This is going to evolve once we get to the season, and we have now some more data to go off of where things aren't going to be nearly as predictive once we get in season, but we still want these takes flooding in. So what are we leading off with here on this next segment of Salt Lake City? Who do we turn to?
Let's start off this Friday free-for-all, Mike, with our good buddy Rod here on Mammoth Daily.
Hey, Mike and Adrian. This is Rod from West Jordan. My take today is about goal scoring. I think the power play is going to be much better this year, and along with more net front presence, the Mammoth will push to be a top goal scoring offense. So I've got Gunther with 45 goals, Cooley with 35, and Keller with 30. Then Schmaltz, Kraus, Lee, and Trocheck all score in the 20s. That would make 7 20-goal scorers on the team, one more than last year, and that also would have tied the league lead last year. Then 5 players currently on the roster will get their first goal with Utah. That's Simashev, Trocheck, Lee, Peak, and Iginla. I think Tanev still goes without a goal this year and may not be on the team by the end of the year. And they know he may get a couple of NHL games, but will spend most of the year in Tucson. But you also wanted bold, so I'm not sure if I'm quite bold enough yet. So let's up it to Gunner for 50, Cools for 40, and 6 players will get their first Utah goal because Veggie's going to get a goalie goal. I can't wait for the season. Tussa.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. Now, Rod just put together this beautiful dish. Nice setup, by the way, Rod. This beautiful dish with the steak, the potatoes, the green beans. Everything is working together perfectly. And then at the very end, he tops it off with a garnish that's rotten and contaminating the whole thing. Rod, there's so many elements to this take. And then you threw in a goalie goal at the very end. If Veggie doesn't score a goal, this take crumbles to the ground. Now, okay, he said 6 different players score their first Mammoth goal. It wasn't first NHL goal. It was first Mammoth goal. He said Brandon Tanev still does not get a goal. Where's this hate from Turbo coming from? But who's the 6th guy that gets their first ever Mammoth goal?
Lee, Trocheck, Peak, Simashev.
Oh, Vamelka. Vamelka.
Vamelka with the goalie goal. Yes.
Okay. There you go. So those are your 6. Gunther with 50. Gunther with 50 goals is like, to me, one of the most reasonable line items of this take. The goalie goal, though. I mean, how many goalie goals have we had in NHL history? 20-something?
So the last one was Ilya Sorokin. March 1st of 2025. We had 3 in 24-25. Utah fans watching the NHL for the first time in 24-25, Mike, are like, goalies score goals all the time. But we've had some stretches. We went 5 years, 2006 to 2011, without a goalie goal. 7 years, 2013 to 2020, without a goalie goal. 2020 to 2023, without a goalie goal. So they kind of come in spurts, Mike. He said 7 20-goal scores. Utah was second last year. They had 6. Carolina had 7. 2 30-goal guys last year. Dallas had 2 40-goal guys last year, but only 4 players over 20. Vegas had 6. Winnipeg had 3 guys with over 30. Mike, so last year, 2 guys in the NHL as a whole scored more than 50, and 15 guys scored more than 40, just for some historical context. But the goalie goal, they come in spurts, Mike. Do you think Veggie is a guy that would fire a puck down and look for
that's what I was trying to think. And he's got 5 assists over his last 3 years, which is not remarkable, it's not remarkable one way or the other. I cannot remember a moment where Karel Vamelka even considered shooting into an empty net. But I do remember several instances where, I think it was in Columbus, he came, in the inaugural season, he came way out of his net to play a puck up to Dylan Gunther, and he got, I think, the primary assist on Gunther's game winner in Columbus when Gunther scored overtime winners in back-to-back games. So that's a very specific moment, but it's an instance like in a clutch moment of the game where he's coming like way out. He's being aggressive playing the puck. Doesn't handle the puck a ton compared to some other guys. I don't know. That to me, that's by far the craziest part of the take.
Gunther 50, Keller 40, 7 20-goal scorers. 6 guys get their first goal. Veggie gets a goalie goal. Never know, Mike, when you're winning games, as Mammoth Nation has Utah doing with a lot of our salt takes coming in, top 3 division winning team, you're going to have some more empty nets to shoot at. You're going to have some more chances. So let's do it.
I'm all for it. Now, I have famously screwed up, not famously amongst my former coworkers. We had a goalie goal, Jackson Stauber, in the American Hockey League. And the things that I screw up tend to have a cyclical lifespan to them. Last, episode,
scooter riding,
the scooter issue that I've now been nailed for multiple times. CBS likes to post this TikTok of a broadcaster jinx I once threw on a goalie in the ECHL, and I had a tough call of a spectacular moment, which is a broadcaster's worst nightmare, is to screw up a big moment. It was Taylor Swift night. I've told the story before, but I'll keep it quick. It was Taylor Swift night at the peak of her powers. Okay, this was like 24 probably, and we had been doing a lot of content with Jackson Stauber, a goaltender with the AHL's Rockford Ice Hogs at the time, Utah Hockey Club legend, Jackson Stauber. And we were told that Jackson Stauber was a big Swiftie. And so we did a lot of video board content and social media content with Stauber in preparation for the night. And as it turns out, Jackson Stauber wasn't as much a Taylor Swift fan as he knew like 3 songs because his fiance listened to them, and that was 3 songs more than anybody else in the locker room admitted to knowing. So we're kind of like using Jackson Stauber for all of our promotional materials for this night, and he really just knows like some of the songs that we all know. So the night comes and Jackson Stauber scores a goalie goal on Taylor Swift night, and I know nothing about Taylor Swift. And I try to tailor, pun intended, I try to tailor this call to the fact that it's Jackson Stauber on Taylor Swift night. He's a huge Taylor Swift fan, and he just scored this remarkable goalie goal. And I said something like, the Swiftie in his golden era or something like that, because I knew that eras were a thing. I knew that colors were a thing, and he just scored a goalie goal. I don't know. So that was the call. It sounded fine, but I don't think it made a lot of sense to people. And our social media managers, they were big Taylor Swift fans, and they're like, you're an idiot. This is ridiculous. So this clip is all over the hockey sphere. It's on NHL Network, and it's me it's me swinging and missing at a Taylor Swift reference, basically. So there you go. There's my Taylor Swift goalie. There's my goalie goal story. But I've seen one. Seen one. Yeah,
Mike, I think you might come to me if you want a evaluation of how a call went that trended, that was a reference of pop culture. I thought it was a great call, Mike. I loved it. I got it. I heard it before we even worked together. I was in Tucson. You were in Rockford. I heard it. I'm like, that's pretty creative. I like it.
Well, I'm glad you thought so, but I get sent that clip yearly by the people that worked in that Rockford office. So Rod's one of our Hall of Famers. Rod's on the Mount Rushmore of day-to-dayers. I'm holding on to this, Rod. I'm holding on to the People's Cup. Adrian didn't know that one was coming. The goalie goal, you can't just throw a goalie goal into a take. I mean, you had this beautiful dish. You put on the rotten garnish. Beware the rotten garnish.
Oh, Rod. We'll be in touch, Rod. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for the take, Rod. Great setup, by the way, too. He's got a great setup there.
He does. It's a lab back there. A lot of numbers being crunched. Let's go in this direction on Brandon Tanev with Parker here on Salt Lake City. Mike?
Hi, Mike and AD. I think this season, Brandon Tanev is going to come back with a vengeance, and he's going to score at least 10 goals this season.
Parker, short and sweet to the point. Was the bow tie for us, or was he going to a wedding?
I think he's just a classy guy.
I mean, it's easily the most formal submission that we've received. He's got the suit going. He's got some chain, it looked like, too. Yeah, he's dialed up. Okay, so 10 goals for Brandon Tanev, which AD would not, if you only watched Brandon Tanev last year, that's a crazy take. But not if you've seen him over the course of his decade-long NHL career.
Mike, 6 out of his 11 seasons, he's had at least 8 goals. He's never had fewer than 7 before last year, so he's in the neighborhood. But Mike, when he has his 2 best seasons, his teams have done well. 16 and 22-23 with Seattle. They won 46 games. 14 and 18-19 with Winnipeg. They won 47 games. So a guy, Mike, that when he does get into the teens, the team does really, really well.
And he was so snake bitten last year too. I'm going back and listening to games from last year, and I want to say there were at least 2 goals that he had wiped away due to review. There was at least one that I just heard from, I think it was December maybe. But I think he had at least 2 that were wiped away due to review. But there were a bunch others that he should have scored. You know, deflection just takes an awkward bounce, or rolling puck, or something like that. And he was good at the end of the year. He was valuable. He wasn't scoring, but he was part of a fourth line that I think was either a wash or was a positive for the Mammoth when they were together. He was extremely physical, especially in the playoffs. Like, he played his part. No, he didn't score, but he played his part. I think I like the take from Parker because no one else is making it, right? And Parker's going back off of what he knows about Brandon Tanev throughout Tanev's career, and not just being held captive by a 55 game sample size this last year with the Mammoth when he's playing 8 minutes a night. And remember, the start of the year was really rough for him. Like, he got better as the year went on. The start of the year was rough for Turbo. So say he has a good start to the year, not just goal scoring, but just, playing better all around. I think 10 is very much in the realm of possibility, especially considering AD. I'm expecting a lot more production out of the bottom. Out of the bottom 6, but especially that fourth line. That's the fourth line accounted for like 7 goals last year. I think you're going to get way more than that with kind of a juiced up fourth line, better personnel, the addition of Lee and Trocheck pushing everybody else down. And, it's going to be hard for some guys to be in the lineup night in and night out because there's going to be a lot of competition. But if Tanev proves worthy that he can be in the mix every night, 10 is more than I would guess, Parker, but I like the fact that you're zigging when everybody else is zagging.
All right, Parker. Great stuff, man. Thank you for checking in and using Mammoth Daily at UtahMammoth.com, Mike. We've always got some good stuff from Parker. Let's go to Kyle, though. Kyle's at the rink, Mike.
Hold on real quick before Kyle. I'm holding the People's Cup, Parker. And you know why? Because I emailed you earlier this past week. Parker had a great take in our inbox, our email inbox, but he didn't put a video with it. I want that take from Parker in video form because that is People's Cup worthy. So I want to see Parker on this segment again with a similar take to what he fired us in the email. It has nothing to do with Brandon Tanev. It has nothing to do with goal scoring, but it was a great take, I thought, AD. Did you see that?
I did. I can't wait for the video of it in part 2.
Yep.
Because we're going to game 7 in Parker's People's Cup, Mike. Need to win one more game.
Yes, exactly. Great submission. Thank you, Parker. Give us the video of that, what you sent in the email. All right. Kyle from Cedar Park.
What's up, Mammoth Daily? This is Kyle from Cedar Park, Texas, checking in with my Salt Lake City take. My take is that Barrett Hayton is going to have his best season yet. In fact, when he's healthy in the NHL, he averages 20 goals a season. This year, he'll be healthy. He's going to have at least 25. I'm also saying at least 37 assists, maybe more. He will also lead the team in face-off win percentage. Barrett's going to have such a good season that after January 1st, we will be hearing that he is in talks for at least a 3-year extension with the Mammoth. Tuss up.
Kyle from Cedar Park skating in a little snow shower to the camera as he's rolling up. Wow. What a submission. What a submission. And we're not done hearing from the tribe of Kyle down in Cedar Park either. We'll get to more of that here in just a sec. But what a submission. And AD, did you notice when he was rattling all that off, that was all off the dome. Like he wasn't reading cue cards or anything like that. He wasn't checking his phone. He was delivering that. That take came from the heart.
And he's in the neighborhood, Mike. Barrett Hayton, 46 points, a career high in 24-25. That's within 6 of his 52-point prediction. 25 goals, he's saying. And he's right. This year, Barrett is due for another season, Mike, of 19 plus. Injuries the last couple years, Mike, 2 of the last 3 years, Barrett's had some injuries that have kept his point total from being closer to that 52. How about the face-off dot, Mike? Second behind Kevin Stenlund each of the last 2 seasons among centermen for best face-off winning percentage on the team.
Yep. So Barrett Hayton is right there. Now, we were talking about zigging while others are zagging. I think Kyle embodies this even more because we had the offer sheet come down. There were people saying, well, just take the second round pick, things like that. And there's people penciling in a bunch of other players ahead of Barrett Hayton in the depth chart right now. There's a lot of people playing armchair coach, putting lines together that have Barrett Hayton on the 3rd or 4th line. That's where I expect him to slot in at that 3C. So you do have production here, for a proposed production from Kyle. That's not that far off. It feels attainable for Barrett Hayton. Right around 20 goals when he's healthy, as you were saying, AD. But Kyle and Adrian, that's when he's playing with Keller and Schmaltz, Barrett Hayton is. That's when he's playing PP1. He's getting those 20 goals, those 40-something points. Is he going to be doing that this year? Maybe. There's a chance for that. But the roster's better. The roster's more competitive. I think what Kyle has going for him with this take is the analytics department. And this is my case for Barrett Hayton reaching 25 goals. He has always been a guy who has scored significantly below his expected goal marks, which again, expected goals, who gives a rip? And it's actually not uncommon for guys who are around the net a lot to underscore their expected goals, because the analytics thinks that everything is a grade A sometimes. And even when, they're in too tight, they're just jamming it off the goalie's path. It's really not a great scoring chance, but the folks at Sport Logic or Money Puck think it is. But going back to when he scored 20 goals, AD, in his first season in Utah, his expected goal number, according to Money Puck, was 30. So he was expected to score 30 goals based on the analytics. And this last year, look at his shooting percentage. It was only like 8.4%. That's maybe average for a bad team, but that's a really low shooting percentage for a player who plays around the net as much as Barrett Hayton does. So if he gets closer to his actual expected goal number, then the 25 is not out of the realm of possibility. And when it comes to the faceoffs, AD, you mentioned it. He was right behind Kevin Stenlund. He was basically like 1 percentage point behind Stenny last year. Don't you think everybody's faceoff numbers should go up on the Mammoth this year because Utah has more options? Trocheck is a right-handed shot. Barrett Hayton's a left-handed shot. So you'll have options where you can have righties out there to take draws on the right side, lefties out there to take draws on their strong side on the left side. Last year, Trocheck was at 57%. He would have been Utah's best faceoff guy. But Barrett Hayton should get a lot of favorable matchups at the dot this year because of where he is in the lineup, but also because of the righty-lefty situation.
Mike, in the faceoff dot. So we said Stenlin and Hayton, number 2 and number 1 among centers. Who was the best Mammoth skater in the faceoff dot last year, taking away minimums, but with the best percentage? Who do you think? And
taking away minimums?
Taking away minimums. Who is best in the faceoff dot?
Are they still on this team?
Yes.
And I'm assuming they don't play center.
Don't play center. Don't do a lot of that. Still took 9 draws. I don't remember any of them.
Is it Clayton Keller?
It's Liam O'Brien, won 6 of 9.
Oh, way. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
So there we go. Hey, Mike, let's go back to the rink. We've got another member of Kyle's family wanting to weigh in here on Salt Lake City.
I think Logan Cooley's going to have at least 40 goals this year and to make a great year. Tusk
up. Okay. Kyle Jr. checking in and repping the Mammoth too in Cedar Park, Texas, which is home to Dallas's AHL affiliate. I'm not sure what rink that's at. But boy, wearing the mountain blue loud and proud at, I don't know if that was a public skate maybe or a stick and puck, but I love it. Already a better skater than me too.
Hey, Mike, remember last year? Logan Cooley was leading the team in goals when he got hurt on December 5th. He had 14 in 29 games. That is a shade under a 40-goal pace. He was over a 39-goal pace last year when he got hurt, Mike. So Kyle Jr. there with a good one.
And so did you say what pace he was on for goals? 35, 36 last year?
39 plus. He was just under 40 when he got hurt.
Okay, yeah. I think for the year, it was like 35, 36 when it was all said and done last year. So, yeah, not crazy. I mean, if Logan Cooley's a 40-goal scorer, it's huge for Utah, but it's also kind of what he's trending to right now. On Tuesday's show, you mentioned some of the jumps that other players around the league have made. And if he's scoring 40 goals, then all of a sudden Logan Cooley is probably at least an 80-point guy. I wanted to go back to Kyle Sr., talk about the 3-year extension too, AD, because that was another part of this take, and that was my favorite part of that Barrett Hayton take. Like when you heard that take, didn't you think like, yeah, duh? Listen to the way that Hayton and the team talk about each other after the offer sheet. Everybody wanted to get a deal done. I think ideally both sides would have come to an agreement for more than 1 year, for more term. And Barrett Hayton is Clayton Keller's ride to the game. You need to keep that guy around. I think the only issue I would have with Kyle's take is if Barrett Hayton is doing what Kyle is saying he's doing, what does his price tag look like? Because if he's that good, and if he's that good in what, a 3C role, I mean 25 goals as your 3C, that's pretty darn good. But his price tag might be more than the 4.775 he's making right now. But you hear those two sides talk about each other, Barrett Hayton and the team, and they wanted to get a deal done. And I'm guessing they wanted to get a deal done for more than 1 year.
Mike, and back to Logan Cooley. First year, 20 goals in 82 games. That's 1 in every 4 games. Second year, 25 and 75. That's 1 in every 3. Third year, as you said, 24 in 54 games. That's just a shade, Mike, still on kind of that pace of 1 just about every 2+ games.
Yeah, and it's been I think it's been a good transition, or not transition, but ascension for Cooley and Gunther. They love playing together. Both guys have taken, I think, tangible steps, not just offensively, but defensively, in their 2 years here in Utah. And it's certainly the case where we're expecting more out of them in year 3 as, jumping into whatever that next level of superstardom in the NHL is. I think when you hit 40 goals like Dylan Guenther did, you're on your way. But what's that next level? Like, who do you think is kind of on that superstar plateau with Guenther and Cooley? Like, if you had to think of other names around the league,
some guys that are already there, like Wyatt Johnston. Maybe our guys are kind of the next tier of it. That's how I'd look at it. Like, our guys are the next to become that, right? With the Wyatt Johnston and the Jason Robertson from, say, a Dallas Stars.
I think so. I think even like, if you really break it down, like a Leo Carlson. Like, Carlson's been in the news a lot because he has the big contract, but he's making more than Cooley and Guenther are combined. But if you really look at the players, like, is he that far ahead of Logan Cooley? They're both centers. What did Carlson have this last year? 60-something points.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. He didn't put up 80 or 100. Just going off the top. Are you looking it up?
67 in 82. That was
great.
Was it, Mike.
Great player. Great player. Not on like the Macklin Celebrini tier. You know, not in like a McKinnon, McDavid. That's Kucherov. That's a different stratosphere, right? But are Cooley and Guenther in that next level of stars? Probably not in name recognition, but just in ability. I think so, especially when you factor in Cooley's play driving ability and the way that he dominates and can push the pace on the ice.
67 in 70 games. Took 12 away from him. He was hurt. So just for accuracy there before we get fact checks. Okay. Mike, before we get to our scribes on Salt Lake City, let's get some shout outs here on this Friday free for all. Throw a shout out to Kevin. Adam checks in. He heard our hotel towel discussion last week, as many people did. Mike, Adam says, if you get clean in a shower, does the towel get dirty? It's a great question, Mike. The towel you use, does it get dirty? I will reuse the towel for a while. Honestly, I'm not going to give a time frame on it, but yeah, I go by that, Adam.
Smart. Like, philosophically, no, it doesn't get dirty. Practically, I mean, we've all showered before. How long do you want to go, Adam? I think it's up to you. I'll give it. Not all hotels are the same, obviously. Like, some just towels abound in the hotel room, and you wash your hands. You swipe your hands and dry them off on a towel. You throw that down, and boom, you get a fresh one after that. It's a little wasteful, but I don't know, man. I try to use them twice. That's enough in the hotel for me.
In the hotel, yeah, I'm a throw it down guy and pull out another one, and then I'll go out to the housekeeping cart and grab 4 more. Like, because they're available.
Are you grabbing stuff off the cart in the hallway?
I will if I need it.
Yeah.
If there's nobody around, if there's somebody around, I'll say, do you mind if I take a couple of these? If not, I'll grab 4.
I am a water thief.
Bottle of water was going to bring that.
Yeah. Well, now if it's free, like if you got to pay for it, which you do at some hotels, that's actually stealing. I don't do that. But a lot of places have the free waters. I take as many waters as I possibly can on
Absolutely.
the road.
Lawrence checks in. He says, Mike and AD to start my day. Always enjoy the Friday episodes. Keep it up, boys. Mike from Price. He heard the news last week with Tyson. He's excited to hear the great one coming up in a soon-to-be-released episode of the Nashcast. And Marty checks in. The Mike, love it. Great show. The Mike, if you missed it, folks, the Mammoth Ice Center.
I'm good with it. Namesake. Perfect for me.
I'll live with it. I'll live with it.
We need a new sheet, the AD.
Yeah.
I was at the mic actually last week getting a morning skate, AD. Our pre and post game intermission producer Adam Hill on the TV side put me through a what can only be described as a bag skate at the mic. And I think it's going to be a weekly thing. Still waiting for Dom Moore to join. Waiting for Dom Moore to jump in and really show me how it's done. But yeah, was just working on the craft with Adam at the 7:30 morning skate down at the mic.
I can just hear Adam right now. Don't do it for me. Do it for you. Is that what we were getting?
He's more of a player's coach. He's not a big motivator. He's more technical, I would say.
Okay.
It was funny him putting me through the most basic skating drills and him very quickly realizing, I've just been trying to run on the ice for years. I don't know how to skate. So appreciate his patience.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. Folks, thanks for checking in. Mammoth Daily at UtahMammoth.com. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from tonight, or on Mammoth Daily here. We'll give you a shout out. Mailbag questions all week long. We're taking those. It's a good time to get in on the mailbag because focus has shifted to Salt Lake City, but still have your Tuesday mailbags. And of course, your Salt Takes. Send them on into us here on Mammoth Daily. If you want to submit them via Riverside, you can go into our YouTube playlist and on our audio channels as well, and find that link to send those in, or just send us an email, Mammoth Daily, UtahMammoth.com.
Let's get to the scribes. Some of the reporters from around Mammoth Nation are our local reporters here in Utah. We were able to catch up with a couple of them and get their salt takes. We have Matt Coma from NHL.com and Chase Beardsley from the Hockey Writers, who saw what was going on with the Salt Lake City and they wanted to get in on the action.
Get ready. Your Friday free-for-all is here.
All right, a little Salt Lake City extra here on our Friday free-for-all. We've got Matt Coma from NHL.com joining us right in the heart of downtown Salt Lake City.
What's up, everybody? My name is Matt Coma. I cover the Mammoth for NHL.com. I got two predictions for you for this upcoming season. First off, I think it's going to be a breakout year for Logan Cooley. It matters if it's Anders Lee or Vincent Trocheck that's on that line with Gunther and Cooley. Both Gunther and Cooley are going to have great seasons this year. I think Cooley breaks his career highs for points and goals this season, and he gets a double-digit point streak sometime this season. For the team, I think the Mammoth get to that next level. I think they finish second in a very competitive Central Division. They get home ice for the first round of the playoffs, and they will make the Western Conference Final. That's all I got. Mike AD, love the podcast. We'll see you guys in the fall. Can't wait for the season to start.
Matt, a Western Conference Finals appearance from Matt. He wants to work into June.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Logan Cooley, career highs. Matt is right on par with Kyle Jr. on that. I think we're all expecting that, AD, and I don't think that's a huge jump, but Western Conference Finals for the Utah Mammoth.
Take it. I like it.
I haven't seen a lot of predictions that are calling for, deep playoff runs. There's predictions for regular season point totals, how we're going to do in the 84 games stretch. Nobody has really dipped their toes into really heavy postseason runs, and yet Matt plunges in head first.
Salt Lake City, Mike. It's what it is. Let's get to Chase Beardsley from the Hockey Writers. He was second in. We're playing these in the order they were received, Mike, as we do on Salt Lake City, and great to see Chase this summer.
Hey everyone, hopefully everyone's summers are going well. It's Chase checking in. Hopefully y'all have been staying out of the heat. Here's my take for Salt Lake City. So Clayton Keller has obviously led the team in points each of Utah's seasons past 2 years. And my hot take is that Logan Cooley will lead the team in points this season for the Mammoth's third season up in Utah. Hopefully everyone's doing well. AD, hopefully you're doing well. And Mikey, stay off the scooters, man.
Oh, thanks, Chase. Yeah, walking everywhere. Okay, sensing a theme here. Sensing a theme surrounding number 92, Logan Cooley, who overtakes Clayton Keller as the team's leading scorer. Kells has been the top trigger man the last 2 years, and Chase is thinking that Cooley takes that mantle.
Let's get to Brogan Houston. Let's hear what's up his sleeve from the Deseret News. Here's Brogan on Salt Lake City.
What up, Mammoth Nation? Brogan Houston here with the Deseret News, coming to you with a salt take. I think that this year is the year that Dylan Gunther scores 50 goals. He already has a 40-goal season under his belt. He's only 23 years old, so it's definitely possible. If it's not this season, it will be eventually. That's the type of player he is, and so look forward to that, guys.
Okay, all right. 2 50-goal scorers last year in the NHL?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. All right, so everybody's high on the young kids.
Yeah. McKinnon
They're not
led
young
the way.
anymore. They're not kids.
Yeah. He got 13 more than the season before. Went from 27 to 40. What's another 10 for Dylan Gunther?
If Dylan Gunther gets 50, why do you think that is?
Power play is better. That will add some.
Yeah.
Cooley healthy for a whole season, playing with the same two guys on the same line.
Now, Gunther's numbers did get a little bit better when Cooley was out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he'd rather be playing with Logan Cooley, but I think it's fair to say he being Dylan Gunther elevated his game in Cooley's absence. Kind of the same way you'd see Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin over the years elevate when the other guy's out of the lineup because they know they have to make up for that absence a little bit more. Yeah, I think you probably get another line mate who does what Kailer Yamamoto did at the end of last year, and that's win battles, retrieve pucks, while allowing Cooley and Gunther to play with the speed that they want to play with through the middle of the ice. Because Yamamoto could do that. So is it crazy to think that we could see Yamamoto with Gunther and Cooley again? Is that absurd?
You wouldn't think, because you just added Trocheck and Anders Lee, but Mike, it worked. It worked.
I mean, when the puck is down, like, it doesn't matter how much money guys are making or what was given up in trade and stuff like that. I mean, Bears got to put the best team together, or Bears has to play the best guys, right? It's the NHL. I don't know. I mean, if Kailer has a great camp and the chemistry is there that was there at the end of last year, and maybe it's not maybe it's not a common thing, but maybe it's something. Maybe it's a change up that Bear can throw in there every once in a while to try and get guys going.
And never have a doubt, right? Like Kailer Yamamoto as a whole, Mike. We saw the numbers when he was inserted into the lineup last year after not having played the game before, and the Mammoth started off the year when he wasn't in the lineup every single night, and he'd get inserted in. They were like 5-1-1 in his first game back in the lineup. He's an insertion spark plug.
Yeah, and the power play part is interesting too because, like, you can kind of fill most of it in for the Mammoth. Sergachev up top, Keller on the half wall, Gunther on the left wing with the one-timer. The bumper spot, probably Nick Schmaltz, right? I mean, you can make an argument for Trocheck, but Schmaltz has been there the last couple years. And then the net front is the biggest question mark, I think, because that was the position that was experimented with the most by the Mammoth. Sometimes Cooley was there at the end of the year, and the Mammoth had one of the best power plays in the league before running into a buzzsaw in round 1 against Vegas's penalty kill. But they had tried Cooley at the net front before, and that magic just wasn't quite there. So is it Lee who starts out at the front of the net? Is it Cooley? Like who's that guy gonna be? Because if Chase and if Matt's predictions are gonna come true, I think it has to be Logan Cooley.
So there we go. Salt Lake City from our scribes. Looking forward to hearing from more. Guys like Sam Farnsworth from KSL, Jeff Rainier, Fox 13, all invited to participate. Cole Bagley, KSL.com. Didn't hear from Cole from KSL Sports. So we've got some more slots for Salt Lake City from our media. So encouraging them to get in. Mike, if you see any of those guys out, say, hey, guys said you were going to send them a Salt Take. Send them a Salt Take.
Yeah, and we'll be we're holding our media to a high standard here on Mammoth Daily when it comes to People's Cup distribution. You gotta really come in and wow us with a take to earn a People's Cup, because these are guys who cover the team every day, guys and gals who cover the team every day. They're around the room. They've got that inside knowledge, right? They're on the same access that we do to some extent. They're not on the plane like we are necessarily, but it'd be like you, AD, giving me a take. You got to come at me with some pretty good stuff if you want a People's Cup.
Didn't take long to learn that, Mike. I think
That's
our first
right.
dinner at Desert Edge Pub at Trolley Square found that
Trolley
out.
Square.
September 2024. Found that
out.
out.
I think you ordered 5 Cokes. I was like, who is this animal?
Diet.
He just ordered 4 Diet Cokes, and he asked for a splash of cherry Coke in all of them, or regular Coke in all of them.
Yep. That's how we do it.
All right, that's our Friday free for all. We'll come back and wrap up the week here in just a moment on Mammoth Daily.
This is Mammoth Daily.
Wrapping up your week here on Mammoth Daily, or closing out your Friday free for all. It is one of our last shows before we have Mammoth Week at the end of August, bleeding into September as well. AD, you are going to be at all of those spots, all those stops, 7 days, 7 stops. You can see it there: St. George, Logan, Ogden, Vernal, Provo, Park City, and then Sandy. It's our second ever Mammoth Week. And is it fair to say the unofficial start to the season?
I think so, Mike, because the next week we're going to have rookie camp. The next week we're going to have training camp. So we'll have Mammoth Daily there doing shows from each stop. We've got members of our broadcast team will be joining us: Matt, Sarah, Dom. Our boss, Craig, is going to be at Mammoth Week. Mike, he filled out the sign-up sheet. He's going to be at 3 stops. Got to get Craig on the podcast. Got to get Craig on the podcast on Mammoth Week. So look forward to that, folks. Starting it off in St. George a week from tomorrow, and then back at it Monday through Saturday. As Mike said, the 6 stops: Logan, Ogden. First stop in Ashley Valley up in Vernal for Mammoth Week, Provo, Park City, and Sandy. So can't wait to see everybody. UtahMammoth.com for more details.
Can't wait for that. That's coming up soon. We're also going to hear from Kristen Bonus, who is one of the leaders of our hockey outreach programs with the Utah Mammoth. So she runs the show with Mammoth Week. We'll hear from her on some of the fun stuff ahead. But AD, in the meantime, just stay safe out there, man, and make sure you have everything locked up. Lock your doors at night, huh?
Mike, I've kind of teased this story a couple times during the season when we were just hustle and bustle. Every other day we're playing a game. I said I'll tell it in the summer, and we're almost through the summer. I haven't told the story yet. So here comes the story, and if the folks like this, then I'll tell some more of the stories that I tease. But we're going to start off with this one, Mike. In September 2021, I had not all of my stuff, but I had some stuff stolen out of a hotel room in Vegas during a preseason trip with the Roadrunners. And it was a trip that started the wrong way, and it was a trip that ended the wrong way, Mike, even after I got my replacement parts shipped to me. So it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I'm just sitting at home watching college football, got some takeout. I'm in no rush to get on the flight and start the preseason in Vegas the next day against Henderson. So our director of hockey ops texts me. He's like, plane's going to be delayed. Don't leave for the airport till I text you. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm watching Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. The flight can wait. The sun's out. Beautiful day. It was one of those weekends, Mike. You remember a couple of years ago, Southwest Airlines just had some really tough weekends where their computers went down and no flights left and nobody got anywhere. And we were victim of that. And Jake eventually said, okay, come on out to the airport. So I drove out to the airport, and we're sitting there and we're like, this flight's never going to leave and there's no other flights to Vegas. And so we looked at options. And so we decided, okay, we'll have everybody drive up to Phoenix. We'll stay in a hotel tonight, and then a bus will take us to Vegas on Sunday for our 2 preseason games. So bus comes, we get on it, pull into Vegas. I go up to my room. It's about 2:00. It's a 7:00 game. I'm finishing my Roadrunners TV web report. I hit export and I'm like, gosh, I'm starving, haven't eaten yet. So go down to the team meal, grab some chicken, some pasta, some pesto, some Alfredo, some salad, couple breadsticks, take it back up to the room and scarf it down. And Mike, it's like 3:30 on a Sunday and it's time for a nap. And I got into the bed, took a quick nap. And so it's, wake up 4-ish and it's time to get ready to go to the game. And I put my suit on and get my briefcase, my bag, radio gear, backpack, and I'm ready to go. And I'm like, wait, where's my laptop? And at that moment, Mike, have you ever had something stolen and it doesn't sink in and you're just like in a world of panic? You're just looking around like, where's my laptop? And I look everywhere. And I'm like, well, I'll get my iPad because I've got Find My MacBook on my iPad. Reach for the backpack. iPad's gone. And I'm like, okay, did the same thing, looked everywhere. I'm like, we've got a situation here. So I call the hotel, tell them like, I've had stuff stolen. My MacBook, my iPad, it's gone. So they send up a security person, took the report, and our contact with the hotel comes up because he had gotten word. He's like, Adrian, what's up, man? I'm like, my MacBook's gone, my iPad's gone, and my external hard drive is gone. And I just checked on my iPhone for Find My iPad, Find My MacBook, and it just popped up. It's literally just as we were talking, like, and it says it's over here. And it was off of Maryland Avenue and something or other. He's like, do you want to go get it? I said, yeah, let's go over there, see what we can find. So during that time, I call my boss. I'm like, Bob, I just had my computer and my iPad stolen out of the hotel room. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, me and Jerry are going to run over to this neighborhood where it says it is on Find My iPad, Find My MacBook. And then we're going to head over to the arena. So he's like, don't even call the game. He's like, say technical difficulties, tell the radio station, he's like, you're in no condition to broadcast a game for us tonight. It's like, no, I'm doing it. And while Jerry was pulling the car around, I call our coach, Jay Verity, and I'm like, Jay, I'm going to be a little late to our 5:45 interview. I've got a situation here. Some stuff was stolen out of my room and we're going to get it. And Jay's like, huh? He's like, okay, man, whatever. So me and Jerry drive over to this neighborhood off of Maryland Avenue. There's apartments and, tons of apartments. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to zero down where the iPad is. Number one, probably not safe. So we pull up, we get out of the car. I'm in a full suit. Like this, nobody else is in suits in this neighborhood. Nobody else had just come from church. So I just walked up the block and I'm just kind of taking a little bit of a stroll with just no idea what to do. And Jerry's standing at the car and I walked back to him and he's like, what do you think, man? I said, I think we should get out of here. So we get back in the car. Jerry drops me off at the Orleans Arena. I go into the coach's room. I'm like, Jay, you ready for this? It's like 6:15. We're on the air at 6:45. He's like, yeah, man, whatever you need. He's like, what happened? And I told him, he's like, sorry, dude. So we do our interview. I go upstairs, set up the radio gear, get on the air, call the game. I didn't have my laptop or iPad, so we're missing some, usual elements, but called the game. Had my trusty iPhone here, and there's this thing called iCloud, Mike. All my stuff was still there. Didn't lose anything. Just the equipment. Mm-hmm. MacBook, iPad was gone. Nothing else. It was all saved on my iCloud. So that was a plus. So get back to the hotel room and me and my assistant, my studio host, I'm like, bro, we got to change all the Roadrunner social media passwords and you got to do it. And so I'm going to send you all the new passwords. You send it back to me when everything's done. So we did that and the day sucked. And so I finally get off to bed. I wake up. But Mike, they didn't take my radio gear. They didn't take the video camera. They didn't take the $780 per diem cash I had in an envelope in my backpack.
What?
They just came into the room, took the Apple products, the external hard drive. So that was the good news too. They could have taken the cash, they could have taken the radio gear, but they were just looking for stuff to stuff in a little bag that wouldn't be noticed. So
when did they come into the room? Did they come in when you were napping?
I think they staked out the place and they saw me go down. And Mike, there was a malfunction with the door. So the door would shut, but it would push open. And didn't take me too long to figure that out because I'm like, how'd they get in here? Door just pushed right open. There was a malfunction on it. So they came in with a backpack or something, grabbed two things and that were easy to conceal and got out of there. So placed a police report. Detective from the Las Vegas Metro unit called me up. He was great. He was nice. No idea why he was doing desk duty in Vegas, but gave him the story. And Mike, another happy ending here. The Coyotes organization had stopped using Macs because we got a new IT guy who didn't like Macs. And so he phased everybody off of Macs. And me being in Tucson, like it just was not, had not been addressed yet. Adrian, we're changing out your Mac with a PC. Here you go. And so by this Mac getting stolen, everybody felt so sorry for me that our IT guy said, don't worry. I'll get him another Mac. It's going to be fine. He can use the Mac. I'm not going to phase him onto the PC. I know he's a Mac guy. He loves his Apple products. So by that, Mike, a 4-year-old MacBook got replaced with a brand new MacBook. When the MacBook was going to be phased out, the iPad was on its last leg. And so that's the story. So they shipped me a PC, met us in San Jose where we were going to start the regular season. We were actually starting it in Stockton, but if you listen to last week's show, you found out that when we played Stockton, we stayed in San Jose a lot of the time. So we were staying in San Jose. They shipped me a PC, a temporary user. I open it up and the power cord doesn't adapt to it. So I go down to the coach's ballroom, the conference room, they're doing video. I walk in, they look at me like, what now, Adrian? And I'm like, does anybody have a compatible power cord for this computer they just sent me that doesn't have a good power cord to power it up? And Jay opens up his computer bag, throws a power cord at me, says, I've got an extra, keep it.
You could not have paid me to walk into that coach's room after that.
I needed to handle stuff, Mike. So I walk, I'm like, guys, got the computer, the loaner. I don't have a power cord that works. So Mike got everything finished, got everything transferred over, whatever. MacBook's waiting for me when I got back to Tucson. Story doesn't end there, Mike. From the week from heck. So get back to Tucson. It's opening week. Park my car, in my carport at my condo. Next day I come out, I start the car, Mike, and it's making this noise and it's swinging back and forth and it's just not a good situation. So I got the car from a sponsor. I was able to get it downtown. Like I had to get to work. So I'm driving this rocking car, 35 minutes downtown. I get there. I call the dealer. I'm like, yeah, something's wrong with this thing and it's under warranty. So I'm bringing it in. So I bring it in again, just shake, rattling and rolling all the way across the other side of town, 30 more minutes. I get there and I'm like, yeah, this is covered by warranty, whatever it is. You can fix it for me. Thanks. They open it up. They're like, Adrian, a rat has gotten into your engine and chewed through all of these cords. Look at him. There's a nest right there. I'm like, well, that's weird. And they're like, no, it's not. Happens all the time in the desert. Like when it starts to get cold, pack rats looking for places to stay warm. They're like, do you live by a wash, which is a dry riverbed? I'm like, yeah, I live right on a dry riverbed. It's right outside my front door. They're like, yeah, pack rat probably came off of that, went into your engine, chewed it because it was a place to get warm, ate it, etc. So I call my insurance. They're like, your insurance will cover it. I call my insurance who's here in Utah, and I'm like, yeah, I just had a pack rat eat my engine. I need you to cover it. And they're like, I don't think we cover that. I'm like, check the comprehensive. It happens all the time here in Arizona, so it should be covered. And they're like, all right, we'll check. So they call back like, yep, should be fine. We'll just have them fix it. We'll handle it for you. So that's how my week went, Mike, to start the 21-22 season. MacBook stolen, iPad stolen, engine eaten by a pack rat, and we all live happily ever after. But everybody that week, Mike, every time I'd walk in, somebody would be like, what happened to you now?
That's where you get your calm demeanor. You've been through the fire. Nothing could be worse than that week.
And so, Mike, for a couple days there, I couldn't get the car in. So I'm using the Roadrunner's marketing vehicle, like a Chevy Traverse. But our community girl, Kayla, is doing like school assemblies every day and running around and dropping off donations and stuff. But I needed the car to get home. So it was like waiting for mom's car in high school, Mike. That was the other element of it. I'm like, where the heck's Kayla? I need to get out of here. She's running. So waiting for dad's car to come back to the Roadrunner's office so I could go home, drive it home. But that's the story I've been teasing for the last 9 months, Mike. And there you go.
You don't have to worry about that now. We got tracks, can take you where you need to go. You got a Ford F-150 that can pick you up.
Yep.
You've got a friendly security at the Mike Mammoth Ice Center in Sandy. It's not going to let anything happen to your stuff. You're safe now.
You know, we went back to that same hotel several times, and you could tell security had been upped. And I said to Jake, who booked all of our travel, I'm like, Jake, security here has been intensified to the point I'd say it's a little over the top. So,
really,
you know, sometimes you just you're the fall guy, but it's.
I mean, that was probably an inside job.
Yeah, had to have been.
There's gotta be somebody who put a piece of tape over the lock or something like that, or the sensor to keep the door from clicking shut.
Had to have been. And
you had a bunch of gear with you too, like that you were probably lugging into your room. They're like, let's get this guy.
Yeah. Saw the little nerd, last guy off the bus, grab my key, go up all alone. Everybody else had gone into their rooms. I was finishing up my video report. And
the other guys could beat them to sleep with their bare hands, so they went after the broadcaster.
That's fair. Was shocked there were no cameras, but hotel had changed ownership. It was in a renovation process. Just wasn't my day. But it was, Mike. Everything turned out.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it out the other side.
Thank you. That's perseverance, relentlessness, all the stuff Bear talks about.
If that's the worst week of your life, life's pretty good.
It was rough, but all turned out. Didn't miss a broadcast. Didn't lose any of the records, the pictures. It's all there.
You run into any problems, you get on the horn. You call me and producer Will. We'll straighten things out. All right.
I sure will.
All right. That was great. You've been holding that one in. I could tell.
I thought I got to tell this. It's almost the end of the summer. I've teased it several times. I got to tell it.
Well, let's let people get on their way with the rest of their Friday here. And we'll be back next week. Getting ready for Mammoth Week. Tuesday and Friday shows. You can always join us on Salt Lake City. You can also join us on our Tuesday mailbag as well. So we'll talk to everybody after the weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy. God bless. And tuss up.